Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're exploring a massive theoretical shift in the foundational architecture of artificial intelligence. It's an idea that might actually solve our modern crisis of digital polarization. Okay, let's dive into this. Can an artificial intelligence actually learn the value of human dignity? It's a heavy question, right? But as nations aggressively compete to lead the next wave of technological innovation, scholars are realizing something absolutely crucial. Scientific advancement alone, without an ethical architecture, simply cannot guarantee peace. Here's our roadmap for today. First, AI's binary problem. Second, Levinas and the other. Third, the Maha AI Plus framework. Fourth, beyond true and false. And finally, toward a digital Sangha. Now don't worry if that sounds like a wild mix of tech, French philosophy, and Buddhist logic. I promise you, these threads are going to weave together seamlessly.
Section 1. AI's binary problem. The limits of zeros and ones.
The core conflict we're facing right now is really profound. On one hand, AI fundamentally relies on binary logic. Literally everything is distilled into rigid ones and zeros, true or false categories. But on the other hand, you have the vastly complex, beautifully messy reality of the human mind and human experience. When you try to reduce our reality into these rigid little boxes, it drastically oversimplifies human social dynamics. It's like trying to force a giant puzzle into the wrong frame. And when we force human experience through that binary filter, well, the consequences are severe. It's exactly why algorithms push extreme content just to boost engagement, which leads directly to political polarization, algorithmic bias, and frankly, a whole lot of online hostility. You know, human beings are actually notoriously terrible at binary thinking. We live in the gray areas, yet we're building machines that force us into black and white. AI systems are incredibly good at mimicking us, but we have to remember they entirely lack lived experience, vulnerability, or any actual moral consciousness.
Section 2. Levinas and the other. A philosopher's warning.
This brings us to a really fascinating thinker, Emmanuel Levinas. He was a French Jewish philosopher profoundly shaped by the tragedies of World War II. He viewed the Holocaust not just as a horrific historical catastrophe, but as evidence of a fatal flaw in certain Western systems of thought. Systems that sought to assimilate unique, individual human beings into uniform conceptual categories. He called this dangerous process the reduction of the other to the same. And it's a stark warning. When we erase human uniqueness, we open the door to exclusion, oppression, and violence. In response to that immense tragedy, Levinas advanced an incredibly powerful principle. He said, ethics is first philosophy. He argued that genuine responsibility only really begins the moment we encounter the face of the other. That encounter forces us to recognize our moral obligations to our fellow human beings. Now, I want you to consider why this matters for modern algorithms. Think about it. If a binary AI literally cannot understand the unique face of the other, how can it ever be trusted to act ethically?
Section 3. The Maha AI Plus framework. An Eastern approach.
Enter Maha AI Plus. This is a brilliant structural solution proposed by Thai scholars, and it's inspired by Eastern wisdom. It proposes integrating Buddhist philosophical principles, specifically drawing from the deep intellectual traditions of Nalanda University, directly into AI architecture to promote cyber peace in the digital era.
Section 4. Beyond true and false. A new logic system.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how it completely changes the literal building blocks of AI computation. It relies on a concept called Catuṣkoṭi, or the tetralemma. Instead of just two rigid options, it expands AI into a dynamic, four-valued logical framework. Let's break down these four states step by step. An AI utilizing Catuṣkoṭi recognizes that a proposition can be 1. True, 2. False, 3. Both true and false, or 4. Neither true nor false. By breaking out of that rigid binary thinking, this architecture actually allows the AI to process ambiguity and conflicting information. And crucially, it doesn't force a rigid winner and loser dynamic onto highly complex human issues. But here's the thing, a new logic system still needs a moral compass. That brings us to Yoniso Manasikāra, which is the Buddhist method of wise and systematic reflection. In the Maha AI Plus framework, this acts as the absolutely crucial internal ethical filter operating right inside the machine's programming. Let's look at exactly how this flows in practice. Step 1. The AI receives the prompt. Step 2, before generating any kind of response, it uses that Yoniso Manasikāra filter to assess the potential impact on human dignity, social harmony, and public well-being. Step 3, it generates a safe, ethically sound response. The whole goal here is to halt the production of hate and misinformation before it even starts. So, the crucial point is, ethics cannot simply be an afterthought, It can't just be an external constraint slapped onto a system after it's already out in the wild. It must be built into the very computational design and architecture of the technology from the ground up.
Section 5. Toward a Digital Sangha. Global Cyberpeace.
As you look at these two frameworks, Levinasian ethics and Maha AI Plus, you realize they share the exact same ultimate goal. Levinasian ethics calls on us as human beings to respond to the ethical appeal of the other's face. Maha AI Plus seeks to take that exact same ethical awareness and translate it directly into intelligent systems. Both frameworks are entirely focused on preventing the diminishment of human dignity, whether that threat comes from a person or an algorithm. And synthesizing these Western and Eastern philosophies leads to a really beautiful concept, the digital Sangha. Through this synthesis, AI evolves from being just a mere tool for economic efficiency into a platform for global flourishing. A digital Sangha is a global community guided by ethical responsibility, mutual respect, and sustainable cyber peace. Now, just to be completely clear here, it's important to impartially note that the ideas we're exploring represent scholarly interpretations and theoretical proposals. Concepts like Maha AI Plus are part of ongoing academic discussions. They're an emerging framework mapping out what is theoretically possible for our digital future, rather than universally established scientific consensus right now. Which leaves us with this incredibly powerful question. As we stand at the crossroads of artificial intelligence and its total integration into our daily lives, will our technology ultimately divide us through rigid binary logic? Or will we actively architect our systems to respect human uniqueness and build a digital Sangha? Thank you so much for exploring this fascinating topic with me today on The Explainer. Keep learning and keep asking those big questions.